first of those has to do with the McClellan Warehouse District redevelopment. Ms. Stokes, would you like to introduce our guest who will address the city speaking?
I'm going to defer that to Tony because we still have one close to the conversation.
Well, thank you, folks. And Mayor, Council, Mr. John Kennedy is here. John has, I guess he's been in ownership of the historic warehouse district and the properties for probably several years. And he's come to the council this evening to talk about his plans, and he and his partner getting ready to move forward, and just to update this group on what his plans are, and more than likely come back to the city to for some assistance requests. But it was more important, I wanted John to kind of give an overview of the project and what his intent is moving forward. So,
I'm John Kennedy. I'm sure you folks know about a group of historic buildings at the roundabout. It's the historic McClellan Historic Industrial District. And we own 10 of those historic buildings. Howard Court is just to the east of us. And the buildings are made up of 4 vehicle maintenance buildings, 4 stables buildings. It was original stables and blacksmith shop and storage for the saddlery. They're all masonry and construction buildings, masonry and steel construction type. And they're all on the National Registry of Historic Places. What we're redeveloping them as is a 160-unit market rate apartment community. Phase 1 is 79 units. It's the 8 buildings that are right there at Jimmy Parks and on the roundabout. And you'll probably see those more often. It's directly across from South Beach Volleyball. It's made up of 50 one-bedroom units, 26 two-bedroom units. We captured historic tax credits. We've got a state reservation, and we've got some federal credits as well on it. The project is, it's been approved with a HUD loan, 221D4 loan, which is a market rate loan. And and we will be coming back to you because we've got some challenges with these interest rates today. Because it's hard to get these multifamily deals done with the current interest rates that they are today. And some of the challenges are we've got an 18-inch city sewer line running underneath one of our buildings. Okay, so that which just relocating that sewer line in itself is $4 million. So we have some challenges like that we'd like to discuss with you at a later date. And but the deal's teed up, it's ready to go. I mean, as I'm sure I don't have to tell you the demand in this market for market rate apartments. They haven't built a new apartment community in the county in over 20 years. There's a demand for 196 units of market rate apartments in our rental rates. And our phase 1 is not 79 units. In talking with the other employers at McClellan, they all need housing. The housing that we have here, these old apartment units in the city are old and dated, and people are actually commuting in from out of town. And I believe 49% of the folks that work in the city of Anniston actually commute from out of town because we just don't have quality housing. And so that's basically the project in a nutshell. I mean, can I answer any questions about the project?
Any questions or comments from Councilman?
Well, one thing I'll add there is I have mentioned to John to put together the facts and figures and what any specific request will be with details. We will break it down. He has provided a good bit of information, and we'll do an economic impact analysis of that. And then come back with, like I said, more detail. And then what I've talked to John about is it needs to be a specific request that's brought forward and goes through the Amendment 772 process.
Is this anything that can be subject to the opportunity zone tax credit as well?
Well, opportunity zone isn't a tax credit. These are we have historic tax credits, which means we have to preserve. First, you have to submit your plan and negotiate with the National Park Service and the State Historic Preservation Office. So we've got well past that, and we've already captured credits from the state. With regards to the opportunity zone, that means with that program is you invest capital gains dollars. You still pay the capital gains dollars, But in 10 years, when you sell that asset, you've got to hold it for 10 years. You don't have to pay capital gains on that asset. So, but that's a 10-year hold. Most multifamily deals, you don't hold them for 10 years. But, the challenge is, in this market is, in Anniston, you don't have a lot of these larger contractors that work on projects like this. You're bringing them in from Birmingham and Atlanta. So there's some challenges cost-wise. And the hardship, of late is, construction costs have gone up 30% over the past, since the pandemic. But yet rental rates have not gone up. So at this point, we're looking for anywhere we can get some assistance, to pay down the debt. And that sewer line going under one of our buildings is a real challenge. I mean, it's a $250,000 cost. So we've got city sewage going through under our building. And so we're going to have to relocate, the sewer line. Now, one, of course, we can't develop redevelop a building with the sewer line going under it. So it's got to be relocated. But those are some of the items we need assistance with. See if the city, can give us some additional incentive to help us with some of the challenges we've got to get the development costs down.
And y'all been working with Waterworks already on that?
Oh, yeah, so I mean, the construction documents are 85% complete. We've got pricing set, the contractors identified. So, I mean, the project's well designed. It's just basically sitting on hold right now, so we can figure out how we can, manage these higher interest rates, the higher construction costs. And that's what we're going to be coming back to. That's, how we can identify some incentives that we're not aware of. I mean, we're in the market rate world. We don't do light tech deals or low income housing tax credit deals. So we're not aware of what type of incentives the city may have. I understand there's opportunities with tips. There's, sales tax that are generated in buying construction materials within the cities. But those are we want to revisit that with you. And we'd be happy to, share much more detail. I don't know what all Cody's giving to you, but he's gotten a great deal of information on the project. And just want to get y'all up to speed on it so we can sit down and have a discussion on how you can help us get the project done.
No, sure. We get that, and obviously open to discussions with respect to incentives or, we just got to get armed with very specific.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. And there's a pent-up demand now for this housing. I mean, twice the number of units we're developing in phase one, and then you got these tenant projects coming in. These people are going to need housing. So it's going to get real challenging here in a year or two once that development gets started for quality housing in the area. And right now, you're at 95% occupied in all your apartments right now in Anniston. 95% occupancy. Some of them have 100% because they've got a waiting list. So you need this housing, and we need help getting you this house. Who's square development?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Is this a program that potentially be subject to the new market program?
Well, new market tax credit, we don't fit in that box.
Okay, I understand.
New market, again, you've got to have.
No, I was asking because the tickets were static. That was the only reason.
This is market rate. Now we can fit in the workforce housing box. Okay, but with historic tax credits, you can't get workforce housing tax credits. So the federal government doesn't let you double dip. Okay, so you can either get historic or you can get workforce housing. But there are some incentives for, you get some additional depreciation and whatnot with workforce housing. But, we're just looking to see how we can work together.
Oh, no, I mean, the city would clearly do it. No question. Any questions or comments? Additional?
The only thing I need that I can pass on this one of the says I want to talk before I get out of here is that what do you want Toby to do to get to council so they can make an informed decision?
Oh, yeah, I think all the pertinent information, that we would need to articulate something pursuant to 772, again, those facts to build the case.
I want to verify all the information that you've given me. You've given me everything for the economic impact analysis, and then go back through your list again on what your total commitment is to the project, the private sector side, and then what you're asking the public sector.
I would welcome you all to come out and look at the buildings. We've already spent a significant amount of money mitigating the lead-based paint in the buildings. We've already demoed the buildings, basically. It's ready for construction. We've taken out every bolt out of every wall, every hanging heater. I mean, this project's ready to go. But if y'all would like to come out and visit the site, you're welcome to come on out. We can schedule a time that we can walk the buildings.
Very,
Love to show it to
we're
you.
not available ourselves to that, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
All right.
Anything
All right,
further?
everybody. Appreciate it.
I'll do that.
On, okay. All right, Ms. Lewis, our second presentation, do you want to introduce our guest who will talk to us about the elevators?
Well, I guess I'm here today, so what I want to make sure, I want to make sure the council understands what's going on with the elevator. And I've asked them to be here today just in case you all have any questions. Because what had happened, we were scheduled to have the elevator be worked so we could actually move it up and downstairs, but that didn't happen because as the guy that from Congo tried it, he found out there was another problem that we had with the elevator that he essentially stopped. So after we found out other things that needed to be done, we got Cone as the elevator company that's going to work to get these things done. It's not going to happen overnight because some of the things that need to happen. Keep in mind that the elevator, when it was used by the federal government, was under different standards than what it is now. So we find some things that got to be done, so they're working most expeditiously to figure those out, make sure that we can have this done, but it's not going to be overnight. Like I said, we're looking at maybe 2 to 3 more months because they have to fabricate certain parts that has to be done, and we didn't find out until that day we tried to go. But I just want to make sure that if the council has any questions, we have Stephen King, our architect, as well as Vashon Pitts here, if y'all have any questions. But we're working it out as expeditiously as possible. Some things are going to even start happening next week where we can maybe give a more solid date, but right now we just don't have that. But I want to make sure the council is informed of this evening with them here if you have any questions.
Yes, sir. And I know you're just kind of ballpark that, but 2 months, is that what's the problem?
Well, he told me today, we got an email late this afternoon, John Perret was coming. And they're coming Thursday to take measurements of the elevator, make sure all the parts and equipment that had to be redone because of the inspection that Mr. Folks alluded to. If all that fits, they're going to release the order and we should have the equipment within a couple of months. It could be as much as 14, 15 weeks on the outside, but they're going to check and see if they can expedite this as quickly as possible. This was an oversight by company. They had no idea that the existing fire service that was in the elevator was inoperable, but the federal standards for the elevator inspections are different than your state standards. And once the state elevator inspector got involved and saw what they had there, he said, no, you've got to change this now. So, we had our inspection in November. We had planned to have the elevator in operation by December 4th. And once the fire safety changed and the fire safety contractor had to produce plans, provide them to the equipment, the people that's providing the equipment for their elevator, and then all that has to gel because it all changed.
Right. Like, would some of these supply chain issues, I guess, potentially affect the timing here with this?
I don't know that would.
Okay.
We'll know more after he calls and asks, if it can be expedited.
Okay.
But I do want to say one other thing.
Sure.
We wanted, Bradshaw and Pitts wanted to express our regret, Mayor, and Mr. Folks and Council, for any inconvenience and disruption that this has caused. If we could have changed it, we would have. But we're so sorry for anything that has caused a problem here with the elevator. And also, I would like to say that Mr. Folks and his team, David Arnett, all those guys have been very supportive and helpful throughout this process, as well as Jason Brown. And we couldn't have asked for a better group of people to work with, and I just thank them for working with us and understanding what's happening here so we can get on with it. We're hometown people. We love the place. I was born and raised here, and we want everything to be good, but when you're dealing with historic buildings, sometimes you run into things that you don't expect, and that's what's happening here.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that, and appreciate y'all being here. So, all of us. Any questions or comments about the issue or dealing with it going forward? Anything else anyone would like to add?
Thank you for your patience, and we hope to have the elevator running as soon as possible.
No, we appreciate it. I mean, the building's fantastic. I mean, it really is. It's
I anticipate what, within the next week or more of a solid date.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, obviously y'all just share that with us.
We'll keep Steve.
Okay. Very good. All right. Anything from anyone else? All right. Thank you. We appreciate y'all being here. Okay, next items are these board appointments that appear on the consent agenda. Tim Garner, EBA, Burr, EBA, and then having Lewis take Jay's spot on the MPO. All of these on the consent agenda tonight. Any questions or issues on any of those?
I just want to make sure that we're getting adequate communication regarding the transition with the MPA. Updates, follow-ups, whatever the case may be, we all need to be abreast of what's happening. Because this is such a significant transition. So any information that is obtained or not obtained, I think that it needs to be properly communicated. That's just the only concern I have.
And then we need some more.
It's not too sure.
All right. Anything further on?
The way I envision that playing out here is they're going to meet tomorrow. I'll work with Jason to refine the language of the resolution. The resolution will officially authorize the creation and execution of necessary documents. But those documents will be subject to our approval. So we'll then, once that green light is officially lit, we can dig in and on an item-by-item basis about what we're doing and we can address any concerns that may arise. I don't, based on my conversation with their attorney, I don't foresee problems. But if there are problems, we'll see.
And we've kept the council apprised as much as possible. We've met with our staff, all met with Jules, our mayor council at the work session, aware, but understand as well that we have not received the item that we requested. We thought we were supposed to, it was supposed to be a meeting on this Monday, it did not happen. So it's things that we actually will have, and so we don't feel comfortable. Actually, I can't inform the council of anything because we don't have the documents, all the documents that we requested.
Well, that's kind of what I want to be informed about, is if we're not, what are we asking for that we're not getting from her? And is the board aware, because there are appointments, the county's appointments, appointed by us, is the board aware that Julie is not providing this necessary information that we need to make sound decisions and moving forward with this transition? I think that's, I guess I can't wrap my mind around it.
But that's,
Which has nothing to do with the city, but I'm trying to understand what is there a miscommunication? Is there something written that has been provided to Julie? Like, where's the barrier in all this? Or she's just refusing to provide the necessary information for us to move forward?
let's just say when we made this law, that the agreement was everything was going to Julie, the rest was being conduit to the board. And we've abided by that. We sent emails and everything to them. But again, we have the individual who we sent it to has not produced any of this stuff anymore. The board knows, I don't know what the board knows, but I'm pretty sure the board is aware because again, they were there at night, but we have not received anything from Julie yet. We got something today, which was a thumb drive. We should not have everything we need. So I hope this is going to be washed out in the meeting tomorrow, so we'll know more. Because I'm just like you, the board should be running this whole framework. Again, that's the question.
But the city's appointments haven't been.
Yes, they've been made aware.
What time is the meeting tomorrow?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
And I'm going.
Okay. 2 o'clock.
All right, anything further on that issue? All right, Ms. Oakshire,
I just have a couple of things sadly to report that I don't know if any of you know Gene Cornett, who was the Parks and Recreation Director, back in the 80s to the 90s before he retired. His funeral was today, so he passed away, his funeral was today. And I say about Gene Cornett, I would say without Gene Cornett, there would be no good choices, because again, he would provide the resources and all the things that you can get choices. Good choice could not happen unless he had the power to do those things. Good choice, he passed away. So I think that's just something that should be said, because he served the city well and for quite some time. So I just want to make sure the council will be aware that we are being praying for us now. We did send something to the family from the city of Anniston, so I just want to make you all aware of that. Those key fobs that were placed on the desk for you all, that's to get inside the building. If you just bypassing it on either one of the key port entrances, and that should get you in either one of the 3 doors.
It's not a rush to us.
And the last thing is, I put in front of you all, I don't know if it was not, they're really going to put Anniston on the showcase. What I would do, since I tasked Jackson and Toby with this, let those two actually inform me what's going on. Because once we met with, for the first thing, I passed it on to Toby and Jackson to get this together. But if you find out this is lining up with other things that we already got going on, but after we showcase us for that month, we are truly going to be the Alabama, the place for bicycle in Alabama. So we're done.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you. And Jackson did put together a very good outline of events. I think he included maybe March or April, late April. But we learned several weeks back that the National Rails and Trails is going to have what's called an influencer ride. And they're going to do that in conjunction with the usage of the 7 miles of the soon-to-be open Anniston segment of Chief of Eye Trail that started Cedar County, Georgia, and coming to Alabama. And then they're going to have some events that are going to take place downtown. There's groups going to be staying at the Finial. There's going to be an event at the Coldwater. I think that Jackson can get into some of that in more detail. But also, you sure you want to say this thing from the ribbon cutting? Do that. You want to be the one? The ribbon cutting is going to be a part of this 3-day event. The ribbon cutting for the Chief of Eye Trail, the official. And April's going to be a good month for transition into the usage of the Anniston segment. But there will be a good number of people that will be coming through the area, of course, that 3 days. And also that Saturday, let me mention briefly, Jackson, I do want you to chime in. This is aligned with Saturday being Trails Awareness Day, Trails Appreciation Day. So after the 2 days focusing on the Chief of Eye Trail, the other component of the trail is the Alabama Trails Foundation is going to set up an information tent with swag and all sorts of stuff in conjunction with the activities at the Anniston Museum and Gardens. And so they'll be there on that day, and they'll be promoting the trails that come out and the trail master plan that's done for the museum campus. So big 3 days. And Mr. PIO,
Yeah, Toby summed it up really well. Toby, me, Alan, Carla, we've been meeting with the Rails to Trails group over the last few weeks, really a couple months, and what we're doing with the Ladaga just happens to align. I think everything's gone super well with the project, so it is ahead of schedule pending the weather. And after talking with Toby and engineering, it looks like that date towards the end of April, the 24th, that's the date to keep an eye on, because essentially, as Toby was saying, the influencers will ride coming down from Piedmont through Michael Tucker and then to downtown Anniston, where they'll get to the brew pub. And that's kind of where they're going to set up. And so at that time, we'll capitalize on having all these influencers and media personnel there. We'll set up a ribbon cutting at that portion for the entire trail, but we'll do it there. And chances are it's going to be probably complete before then, but we'll hold that internally and kind of push it as the public opening on that 24th date. There'll be a reception at the city market afterwards. We have a couple other programming events like Noble Street earlier in the month, and downtown after dark the next day. So we're going to try to find ways to link together the messaging. It's kind of really a month of ecotourism. A lot of our trails have shot up the ranks on all the state tourism guides and boards. I mean, Coldwater and soon to be Ladiga, we're really becoming a mecca. And then we have the Leadville race in October. So really good stuff. And if y'all have any questions, just let Toby and I know. But the key date is at 3:30 time, approximate time. That could change because we'll need everyone to ride in on the bike. So we'll kind of be constantly communicating as they come toward us at the brew pub. And that is where we'll do the ribbon cutting. So there's a couple other bells and whistles. I was talking to the mayor. There's a ride-in. He could be a part of that. They're trying to get other mayors from throughout the state to be a part of that. So I'll send some of those details in the coming days. But yeah, it should be a great month.
The reason I wanted to present this to council tonight is because we have an opportunity like that. So if you have any input, if you'd like to be invited to any of those events,
Yes.
please you let Jackson know now so we can get that done. So we have enough time to react.
Yeah, you can send me anyone you'd like invited. We've developed alongside this regional group an invitation list, and we've gotten all of our usual dignitaries and stuff in there. But if there's anyone you'd like to be a part of it, absolutely let us know. So.
One of our projects, the Michael Tuttle Park restaurant, will be finished at the end of the month, but we're not going to bring that in and actually cut the ribbon for that until that's doing at the same time.
That whole
It will be
project.
finished. If you haven't had a chance, and you're invited to take a look at what it's looking like, just take a notice time, just to look what we've done. So that restaurant out there, I'll tell you right now, it stands out. And it's, when they put their cooking on it, all that, it's going to be even better. But by the end of the month, that will be finished, and you will see. Again, that's a project that this council has done, and I think it's going to impact that showcase us to the entry to Anniston for the portion of the back track.
Will the cyclists need will they automatically be invited to everything anyway? Because
The ones that are part of the regional group or the local groups here? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I added Tom and.
I don't want to add to.
Yeah, I've gotten Tom and Brooke and Wig and I think we'll add Marcus and I think that maybe Tim Lindblom, I think we've already added him. So I think every regional cycling group has been put on the invitation list. So
Also, you need to get the Northwest Georgia, whatever the acronym is, Northwest Georgia.
yeah, just you can send it to me and I'll get it added in.
Can I say something on a different note? It has nothing to do with the trails. This sounds wonderful. Since Ciara Walters is here, I want to say thank you to the Anniston Fire Department. I don't know if Jeff's going to be here for the meeting, so I just want to say that because I plan to say something. They probably saved my house from burning down fire now. And the smoke alarm went off within 5 minutes. They were at my house. And they pinned it down where the fire was coming from, and kudos. I don't think we give our public servants enough credit for what they really do. And I don't know where they came from. I'm assuming the fire station close to my house, but there was about 5 of them in my house. But anyway, I just want to say thank you. Appreciate it.
Just saying on to that, also, we've been having a lot of fires, a lot of stuff, and our fire department has been working really well. The drive by the CPs just burning the grass. I called somebody the other day, guy was out there, looked like we got few weeks and trying to feed it and the winds going, and let it go burn over, but some of our constituents sometimes will push things to the limit, and when I see something like that, I don't know, because I would rather be seen, I'm sorry. You may not have been anything. When you ride by, you see the blaze, or you got heat, just standing there like, oh, Chief, it looked like there was something burning this afternoon before all that, or control burn, with the wind we've had today. If there's fire out of control.
No, it's not out of control. We have a small fire out there, among other places. We've been running crazy for about 5 weeks, and less than the last fire rescue. no longer plays against this, is no longer, it's just the way it is.
Anything further? Anything at all? All right, let's say it's over 5